This is Sarah Mikesell with the Pig Site, and today we're here with Dr. Justin Ransom. He is the Senior Director of Sustainable Food Strategy with Tyson Foods. Thanks for being with me today, Justin.
It's my pleasure.
Very good. And we're here at the International Conference on Pig Survivability, and you presented to the group today.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you a little bit about just kind of some of your key takeaways. You were here all day and kind of heard what I heard. Tell me a little bit about your thoughts on the event today.
You know, I thought it was interesting how scientists from all over the country, all over the world, were here talking about how can we do better, acknowledging the opportunities of mortality at all different sections in the supply chain. And, you know, my time was really a call to action, is that we not only have to do better for the right business reasons, the right animal health reasons, but we have to feed a growing population. 2 billion people in 30 years. So we're going to have to rethink our food system over the next 30 years and how we're going to feed 2 extra billion people. And excited about being here and honored, frankly, to be part of the conference.
Very good. And what did you, I mean, we heard a lot of statistics today,
Yeah.
right? That were, some were not great for the industry. There was definitely a sense of we are here to do better, right? I mean, what were some of your key thoughts on the things that you could see that the industry will be doing or should be doing to kind of move forward?
You know, there's a couple of things. I think innovation was one. Innovation, automation, the opportunity to really take the next level of technology to the fore in small farms because it's much more affordable than it used to be. The second big thing for me was labor. Such a huge labor crisis across the country. It's no different on farms raising pigs. And getting that talented labor that's consistent to really do what needs to be done to raise those pigs is a big opportunity. And how can we collectively be better managers so we don't have those problems? So great conference.
We certainly heard it. It was people, right? That the people are the ones who can really make the paradigm shift potentially, right?
That's right. For managers of swine units to frontline team members to corporations. We all have a role to play in this, and how can we partner to make sure it happens?
Very good. And you talked a lot about the fact that the population is growing, right? I mean, can you share a little bit of your message from your talk just about we've got a lot of people to feed?
Well, we have a lot of people to feed. You know, transparently, the pork industry, all of our industries, we have a transparency opportunity. So how do we tell that transparency story better to get people comfortable with the food that we produce? And then as we bring on new technology, as we grow meat and animal production, how do we keep the consumer with us in that journey so that they're not surprised when they hear something? So I think it's going to be a learning for all of us, is how do we talk about sustainability, innovation, R&D with the consumers, because they want to know where their food comes from and they have every right to.
Right, and you introduced kind of a topic to the audience, ESGs. Can you talk just a little bit about that? I don't know if anybody even raised their hand
right.
when you mentioned it.
We had one guy. You know, environmental, social, and governance is a framework that has been around for 10 or 15 years, but really in the last 3 years to 18 months has really gotten a lot of traction. And it's really kind of a framework, governance, that gives institutional investors perspective on the works that publicly traded corporations are doing to drive a positive impact for the environment or people. What kind of governance do we have within our own organization to make sure that we have the right people making the right kinds of decisions? So I think it's really kind of a new dimension of sustainability that gives us all some credibility and some a clearer line of sight, rather than everyone creating their own definition of sustainability. ESG is pretty clear for globally what the expectations are in terms of how you want to run your business.
Very good, and you mentioned that that Tyson is utilizing this as a tool to kind of help with transparency, right?
That's right. So this year, actually, we launched our first ESG hub, which was really it was a data portal. If you want to learn about what we're doing in sustainability, you go to this ESG hub, and you can see everything from greenhouse gases to water use to our investment in communities. And so it's really about, it's a holistic landscape view of everything that we're doing and doing what we think is doing the right thing, and how do we continue to benchmark to do better.
Very good. And transparency was a key word we heard a couple times today, not just from you, but that transparency in the industry and really telling the story, right?
Yeah.
That hasn't potentially been told.
You know, I've grown up in this industry. My undergrad was ag communications, and for 20, 30 years we should have been talking more. And now with social media, the opportunity to talk more is real. And how do we do it? Not just talk to ourselves, but how do we talk with consumers?
Thanks so much for all the information today, Justin.
It's my pleasure.
This is Sarah Meixel with The Pig Site.